Glands, they mark their territory quite a bit by glands. That's why at this time of the year, gland lure is a really good lure to use because the males are looking for females, right? This is a really, really good time to be using your gland lure. Territorial marking. Now, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that other wolves won't go into other wolves' territory. That is malarkey. Anybody that's trapped wolves and followed wolves for a long time will see where they'll cross over. So one pack will lots of times cross over right into the center of another pack. And I honestly believe if they know that the wolves, say for example, are on the east side of my line, the wolves from the porcupines, lots of times they'll come right into the center of my trap line. And then they'll turn and they'll go back out. It seems like the wolves that are on my trap line will come back and check out their east boundary, and the wolves will move back towards the Porcupine Hills. So they'll move back and forth and they'll test each other. They'll test to see how big the pack is. They'll test to see what kind of game is there, right? So if they feel that they can take over another territory, they will.
They'll come in and check it out, but won't stay.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So you can really use that to your advantage as well, right? Traveling. So traveling mostly by night. Walk roughly around 6 kilometers an hour, but they can lope at even more than 16 kilometers an hour for a long, long ways. I don't know if any of you guys knew Francis Gardner. He had the property on the north side of Chain Lakes, and I was up there on Mount Sentinel, and I caught some wolves that were killing his horses. And we put radio collars. They were the very first GPS radio collars, okay? Before the other ones they used telemetry. And I was telling them that those wolves were traveling all the way from the Kananaskis Lake to his place overnight. And they told me basically that could never happen. When we had the GPS collars on them, it was 3 o'clock in the morning when they'd come and they tried to make a kill on his horses. And they'd be gone by 5 o'clock, and by 9 o'clock in the morning they'd be back at Chain Lakes, or at Kananaskis Lakes. That's how far they were traveling. You know, that's a long ways.
So why do you think they would go so far?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea, because there's so much perfect country for them.
and there probably was other wolf territories in between there.
Yes.
And they went back there.
Yes.
Maybe they were raised there, or they were just...
It's a good possibility. It's a good possibility. They could have been chased out during hunting season, who knows? And you know, chased the first. So there's a little bit of a slough on Francis' place, and he had a beautiful cabin there. I stayed in that cabin for 4 days, never made a fire, never left that cabin. And I left the window open that much, and it was 400 yards to that lake. And I knew with my .264 Winchester mag, if that wolf come out on the lake there, he was mine, at least one or maybe two, right? And Francis took me there on horseback, right up to the door of the cabin. I got off and went inside with my sleeping bag, my rifle, never left that thing for 4 days. He picked me up 4 days later because I had to go to work on the ambulance with horseback. And that night, them buggers were back and they made another kill.
They knew, they were reading your mind.
Yeah, they knew exactly. They knew exactly, right? So they can travel a lot further than 100 kilometers in a night if they want to. So because they have such wide feet and stuff like that, and their front feet are bigger, they can travel through snow quite a bit better than what a coyote can. And like I say, they can travel a long ways. So that just gives you an idea of the size of the track there. There's a glove sitting there beside it. One of the key things we want to know is when they're breeding. So the alpha male and female, they breed in March. 2-month gestation. They're like coyotes. They'll have around 4 or 5 pups, but the harder you trap them, the more pups they'll have.
Yeah.
So pups are nearly full grown in the fall, and it's usually when you see predation on cattle, it's the alpha female is teaching the pups how to kill.
Is it just the alpha female that comes in to eat, or do the other ones?
No, the other ones will come into heat too. But so, like I was telling you, humans could learn a lot about how to live by wolves. They're very social, family orientated, and when they're breeding, the alpha female usually keeps the female pups in line, and the alpha male keeps the male pups in line. And they'll chase them, the alpha male and female will chase the pups away lots of times when they're breeding, and that's how you'll get a split in the pack. Lots of times the pups will head towards the denning site, so they'll stay around the den site during breeding season, or they'll hook up with another wolf, and they'll form their own pack.
What about with these helicopters killed and stuff? I thought I heard something about how it's counterproductive if they shoot the alpha or don't shoot the alpha, and you get a bigger back, that it can actually make things worse.
Yeah, lots of times if you take out the alpha male and female, it makes things worse, because you have more. You'll have the pups dispersing instead of staying in the family order of pecking. They'll disperse, right?
And then now you got 2 packs. So
Then now you can have 2 or 3 packs, right?
wind up with more wolves in that area.
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
So actually, if they were smart, they would try to avoid killing the alphas.
Well, lots of times. If you can get the alpha male and female, if you're trapping really hard, it's easier to get the pups. But from a helicopter, if you shoot the alpha male or female, the pups disperse. And lots of times they don't come back to and form the same pack, right? So I found that 70% of the time it's the alpha female that I'll catch in a leg hold, and it holds the rest of the pack in that area, and they'll come back to her quite often, to where she's at, right?
You get the rest of them.
Yeah, so you can clean up the rest of the pack. Wolf den. So like I was saying, wolf dens, you'll find them near water, and usually they'll have, if you find one den, if you keep looking, you'll find another one. It's usually not more than half a mile away. And so they'll use one den site, and try not to go around that den site too much while the pups are young, because they'll pick up the pups and they'll move them to the other den site. In the Flathead area, my uncle used to trap in the Kishinina in the Flathead area, and there were some outfitters. They poisoned this female wolf, and the pups were only small. And the female wolf and the male wolf, they both had collars on. The alpha wolf moved 6 pups and only one died while he was trying to raise them till they were a year old. So that's quite amazing, because usually once the female is gone, you know, if the pups are pretty small, they don't survive at all. So things can change, right?
Does the den have only one opening or two?
One opening usually.
And how deep?
Oh, it depends. It depends.
Depends on the dirt.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 feet deep, that might be deep enough for it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of times they won't even go down. They'll just go straight in, or they'll go up and then they'll level off a little bit. It depends on water level lots of times, but they'll be close to water.
I got a picture.
Yeah. So den sites are quite interesting, and I've had them come to the same site. I've taken wolves right off the trap line. Not had wolves for 2 years, and then another pack moved in, and I was surprised that they were using the same den site as the wolves that were there before them. It's not all the time, but sometimes that happens.
Did you like this video? If you did, I think you're gonna like this one right over here. So check it out. And I appreciate your subscribing if you haven't done so already. Remember to do that while you're watching this next video. Click like, it all helps us out for this channel. Catch you next time.